Welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. Ruben Amorim is not holding back. He is telling it like it is. We knew he's a straight talker, but we did not realize that he's just going to throw everyone under the bus who he does not appreciate, whoever he is not happy with. And apparently he's not happy with half the players in the squad. He's made it very clear that these players are not working hard enough. I mean, we were discussing Rashford and Anthony the other day, but he seems to be not happy with half of the squad. I mean, we're talking about Bruno Fernandes, we're talking about other players in that midfield like Casemiro. The key players that we think are doing well are actually not doing well in the eyes of Ruben Amorim. We're going to be discussing that and lots more in today's show. We're also going to be discussing transfer news. This huge transfer news has come out overnight about Man United going after a new left back. We'll tell you who that left back is, and we'll tell you whether United will be getting him in January or the summer transfer window. So make sure you stick around, make sure you hit the like button on this video, and if you're not already a subscriber to the Man United stream channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. We are one of the fastest growing Man United fan channels out there, so hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all the latest news and more from one single daily dose. Okay, so breaking news, or kind of breaking news, because we already told you this about 2 days ago. Ruben Amorim is not happy with the effort being put in by these players. We already knew this. Even under Ten Hag, we were all complaining, all the fans could see it, that this team did not do any running. We were just lackluster. We didn't care. Well, we didn't, meaning the players didn't care. The players would not run around. There was hardly any tracking back from the front players from Man United teams, and we were all watching it saying, well, this isn't right. We see other players, other teams, even the top teams like Man City and Arsenal and Chelsea's, who are actually could be afforded the luxury of saying, well, we'll chill out today. We don't need to work as hard because we're on top of the league, but they're still working hard, even Liverpool. And there you've got United, these players who just act like they're superstars. They act like they've won trophies after trophies after trophies every year, but they haven't. But they behave like that on the pitch. They just do not want to run back. They don't want to track. They don't want to pressure teams. We saw it last year. We even saw it this year, where United players simply are not closing down the other opposition team. And we've seen it. And then suddenly, now we've got the new manager coming in, Ruben Amorim, and he hasn't held back. He's just come in and said it like it is. He's told everybody he's not happy with the way these players are closing down and the effort that they're putting in, even in training. Now, can you imagine what shock he's going to get when we turn up on Sunday and we play in the Premier League and these players simply walk around on the pitch? I mean, these players have to pull their fingers out. We've been saying it for years, but now it seems like the manager is going to agree with us, and the manager isn't going to accept any of this rubbish anymore. We have to have players who are 100% committed to the team and are going to run around and are going to work their socks off. And if they're not, we know who they are. I'm not going to mention individual names. We all know who they are. We get comments from Man United fans all the time about which players they feel are not working hard enough, and we agree. We agree. Look, the problem is that no one is calling it out, and the problem is that if it is just one player, then maybe it would be easier to call it out, but we know that half of the squad isn't working hard enough, and then it's really difficult. We can't say, right, get rid of every single player that we've got there, or 5 players out of the 11 starting players. We can't say that. That's why you hold your tongue and you say, maybe they'll change, maybe they'll put into more effort, maybe it's just their confidence levels. But we've seen it under so many different managers that these players simply are not committed to United. It's like they don't want to be there. It's like they don't want to be there, and they're just thinking, right, we're just going to get our paycheck and go home. That's the problem we've got at this club, and the quicker we resolve it, the quicker we're going to start winning games. And if Ruben Amorim can actually do that, that is what we're looking for. We need a manager who can actually do that rather than favouring one player or another player. We discussed this in yesterday's show. We do not want a manager who's going to just make friends with the players. We need a manager who can manage them and tell them like it is. And if they're not good enough, or if they're not putting in the effort, they need to be out of that door. That's what we want from Amorim, and the initial signs look very, very good. He looks like he is going to be one of those managers who's not going to take any crap from any players. Drop your comments below on what you think about what we're hearing from Ruben Amorim. Are you happy with this? Are you happy that he's pinpointing the fact that these players are not working hard enough? And Even the likes of Bruno Fernandes are coming under the spotlight. We've heard that Amorim is not happy with the way Bruno Fernandes is working on the pitch. That is crazy. Now, some fans would argue that Bruno Fernandes is our best player, but if Ruben Amorim is saying that he's not working hard enough, we all know what he means. We've seen it in Bruno Fernandes in games, big games, where he just simply falls off. He falls off, and we're wondering, where's that Bruno Fernandes who scores all them goals and makes things happen? And he just falls off at the wrong times in the wrong games, and that's why we need someone who can sort this rubbish out. Hopefully, it is going to be Ruben Amorim. Now, another request made by Ruben Amorim is that he wants a new left back. Finally, someone's come in and called out the obvious. Luke Shaw is made out of glass, gets injured every 5 seconds, yes? Malacia, well, he's been injured for God knows how long, and we've not had him on the pitch. So we've got two left backs who cannot do the job. So we need another left back. And finally, Ruben Amorim's come in and he's identified it within a couple of days. He said, right, okay, we need a new left back and we need him quickly. So now the question is whether he's going to come in January or the summer transfer window. We don't actually know what they're going to actually decide. It depends on the board, and it depends on how quickly they feel we need a new left back in, and whether Luke Shaw or Malacia can do a job whilst we wait to get the new left back in. Now, a lot of names have been mentioned in that left back position, but one name that's been stood out from everybody else, and one name that a lot of people are mentioning again and again, is Alphonso Davies of Bayern Munich. What a player he is. If he could come to United, that would be a very, very good signing. Will he be a long-term signing? Maybe not. Maybe not. We're not quite sure whether he is going to fit the bill when it comes to a long-term signing, or Man United might bring in a young left back who can actually work his way up through this squad and become a regular player. We're not quite sure which way they're going to turn, but it's refreshing to hear that they're already planning ahead. They're not waiting on Luke Shaw to get injured again or Malacia to get injured again. They are looking ahead. They're working ahead. They know that, look, these two left backs haven't had a lot of game time, and look, we don't know whether they're going to even be good enough to play in Ruben Amorim's team anymore. That is the question mark that we've got as fans, and I'm sure Amorim has looked at their history and realised that these two just simply keep getting injured, and whether they're even good enough to play in that left back position is another question altogether. Make sure you hit the like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe. You are watching the Man United Stream channel, the channel by the fans for the fans.